Happy Wednesday, Crestwood. Hope you all are having a great day today, enjoying the sunshine. Looking forward to the next few days and all the celebrations that are a part of that as we move closer to Christmas Eve and Christmas and all the joy that time brings for us. Also a reminder that it's not always joyful for all of us. And so praying for those of you for whom these holidays can be difficult. Glad to have this time with you this morning to provide this devotional for this Wednesday, December 22nd. So if you weren't in church on Sunday, you missed all the fun. So a first for me as a minister in my 20 years or so of ministry, as Trish was giving the invitation to communion at the 1045 service, the fire alarm went off. Number one, good to know it works. Very thankful that we have a working fire alarm system. After about 10 seconds of catching our breath and getting our bearings and figuring out what in the world was going on, we all evacuated out to the different exit doors. And so everybody got out in an orderly fashion, and all the kids got out of the children's wing, and people were grabbing wheelchairs to help people who needed assistance, and folks grabbed communion off the table, and we took worship out to the parking lot. As it turns out, the elder's lunch that was being prepared in the kitchen, some smoke triggered the alarm. Everybody was okay. We learned that actually pretty early after the alarm, but the alarm was still going off, so we couldn't go back into the church and try to do worship. So we had an impromptu communion service in the parking lot over by the children's wing. And so we passed communion out to everybody, and I said the words of institution and offered a benediction as the fire trucks were pulling up, as they're supposed to do when alarm goes off. Everything went exactly how it was supposed to go when that situation happens. It was just not what you expect to happen on a Sunday morning. But that's what I'm reminded of, is that life rarely goes as you expect it to happen. And even on a Christmas Sunday, which for me is one of the most joyous Sundays of the year, things don't always go as planned. And that was certainly the case for the people in the Christmas story. For Mary, for her plan was to be a good Jewish wife to Joseph. His plan was to keep up his work as a carpenter and start a family with Mary. Everybody had a plan of what was supposed to happen, and then God interrupts and brings this new plan for Mary and for Joseph, and for them to live out this incredible news that Mary will bear the Son of God. And I think it's amazing that God can break into our lives in ways that cause us to sit up and pay attention, that remind us that God is still alive and active in the world. I don't think God caused our fire alarm, but God was certainly present in the midst of it as we took communion, standing around a circle in the parking lot. You know, I think Christmas is meant to be something that surprises us. Christmas is meant to be something that interrupts our routine, a reminder that God is breaking into our world. God is sending Jesus again in the flesh to remind us that there's a better way to life than what we experience and what this world has to offer. Even if it takes us out of our comfortable pew and into the cold of the winter morning, it's a good reminder that we are always to pay attention, that God is at work around us, and what God is calling us to do may not be what we expect. It may not be comfortable. It may not be familiar. And yet it's in those places where we often experience God the most tangible ways. And so as we move closer to this Christmas and as you move into this holiday, I want you to keep your eyes open. Because we believe Christ is being born again. And what does that mean for us? It may mean that we have to look beyond the perimeter of our blinders. We have to look outside of our guardrails to see how God is at work in this world and where God is calling us to join God as co-laborers in this world. Chances are it's not going to mean doing the same thing you're doing. It's not going to mean staying comfortable. It's not going to mean living out the routine you live out. You know, the fire alarm was a great reminder to me that you can't get too complacent, because God will interrupt. God will break in. Things aren't going to go according to plan. At first I was kind of upset. This was Christmas Sunday. It's supposed to go perfectly. And then I reminded myself, but God was still there. It's not up to me to live life perfectly. It's up to me to live my life faithfully and to follow God's leading, even if it leads out to the parking lot during the middle of worship. And so, Crestwood, I want to encourage you to look where God is leading you this Christmas, to stay open to possibilities. If you have something come along and you think, oh no, I could never do that, good chance that's from God. So listen to that voice, pay attention to that leading. Who knows what the Christ child is bringing and where Christ is calling you to go this Christmas and beyond. God bless you, Crestwood. Merry Christmas.